Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back today to talk about And Just Like That, Season 3, Episode 8, Happily Ever After. So, Brooke, high level, I have to say I enjoyed this episode.
I did. I did too.
Really did.
I'm softening.
I am.
Trying to give these people a break.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Well, so part of it was because I didn't want to be a negative Nancy so much. But the other part of it was I was like, oh, this is good. Like, this is better. This is much more, I think, of what people want. And I was reading, I think maybe it was in Vulture, and they gave it a good rating too. And what the reviewer was saying was that this was one of the shortest episodes of the season. And it was also the one with the least amount of Carrie. You know, and I do think that is very true. I mean, it is the truth. It's what it is. But when you really think about it, it's like, yeah, the whole thing isn't all about Aidan and Carrie and this craziness. It's the LTW stuff I thought was really funny. And I think she's great. They need to have her do more stuff because she's amazing. And, yeah, I mean, and I think the other women are much stronger than Carrie. Their storylines are a little more interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also, it kind of felt more like the classic Sex and the City type episode. And there was actual sex in the episode, which you know, is good. And yeah, it was just kind of like fun. It wasn't because a lot of these episodes can be so heavy sometimes, like these post, the And Just Like That era.
Yeah.
And so it was, just kind of a fun, lighthearted thing. Although I didn't really like seeing Aidan just stroll back in. It's like, you dude, like, it's hello. It's like you're back because now nobody wants to be with you.
Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about Aidan right now.
And I'm
poor Aidan's a little lost himself.
Yeah, I still can't believe that Carrie has not told them that Aidan slept with Kathy.
Yes, that's a big thing.
Which makes me think that maybe does she really see this relationship as like a real relationship? I mean, I don't know.
I think the big aha, this would be my guess, is in 2 episodes. I think the big aha that she's going to have is realizing I've been trying to make this thing work. Like, I've been putting away, I'm not telling my friends about Kathy. I'm altering my life. I'm selling my apartment. I'm doing all of these things, and for something that's not even really real. And maybe something that she doesn't want. And I do think she's going to move back to her old apartment. I mean, I think she kind of indicated that on Watch What Happens Live. There's this feeling.
I didn't see that.
She didn't say yes, I do, but Andy asked her, and she kind of was coy about it. And I'm like, okay, so that means you're going back. So I think that's the whole thing, right? That's what they're leading to. So, but yeah, and I thought the other thing that was really good about this episode that was part of Sex and the City that I think is what made the show so interesting is every episode of Sex and the City had a question. Can men and women have sex the same way? Can you have it all? These questions that people ask themselves, and then they explore it in these different ways. And some of it serious, some of it more comical. And this one I thought was because that gallery, I don't know what kind of opening it was, like a real life, still life
kind of performance art.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So I thought that performance art piece, though I'm assuming there were more beds than the 2 that we saw, I thought all of that was really interesting, because what they're really talking about is like, right, exactly what they said, the things that you hold on to, the things that you let go of, how you live this one life for a while, and it seems like you're never going to live a different kind of life. And then you get over to this side and you're like, oh yeah, this is pretty good too. because the 20-year-old can't possibly imagine staying home on a Saturday night and reading a book.
Mhm.
But the 50-year-old, that's and it's not until you get to that place that you realize like, oh, this is the best thing.
Mhm.
I don't want that other thing anymore. So I thought all of that was interesting, this
Well,
pondering of lives. And then maybe, and if they could bring that back to the Carrie stuff of
yeah,
lives, like maybe Aiden was a time of your life and that
exactly.
you're not that person anymore.
I was just gonna say that's the parallel is that
Yeah.
she is trying to fix a mistake, or maybe it wasn't even a mistake. It just whatever it happened with with Aiden, and maybe she blames herself for cheating and thinking,
Mhm.
oh well, what if he's the one that got away or so I don't know what she's doing, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think she is going to come to the conclusion that she is a different person now and he's a different person. In a way, I don't know, she seems much more different than he does. I was
Yeah.
realizing that she seems very, very calm.
Mhm.
Because if you go back and you watch how she was with him before, she was kind of manic.
Yeah.
They both were kind of
Yeah.
manic together. And she's just super calm, like, it's weird. And so, I mean, she's just matured so much, she's been
Yeah.
through so much, she lost her husband. It and he's kinda still seems manic to me. Not as bad as he
Yeah.
was, but
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of like I said, I have a lot of thoughts. Well, I wrote I my notes are character by character. You said you went chronologically. So we can go chronologically if that's the easiest thing to do.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I just okay, well,
Well, we'll
I
start
just
with Aiden's there.
yeah,
He's
Aiden's back, and I wrote, "Ugh," and he's got, like, 3 or 4 bags with him, like,
Yes, he's
he's
got
gonna stay
tons
a
of stuff
while.
and he's really sketchy about why we still don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
even after we learn about the Wyatt stuff, we she asks him again, "What's all in all these
Like,
bags?" And
how
he's like,
long are you
"Tube
gonna
socks."
stay? Yeah.
It's like,
No,
yeah.
he's clearly planning on staying for a while
Oh yeah.
because Wyatt has said he does not want to live with him, wants to live full
Mhm.
time with Kathy. Wyatt is mad at him.
Mhm.
Um and I'm not sure why. I don't know if this has anything to do with the ADHD issue cuz you know how Aiden doesn't want him taking the medication.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but maybe he was angry that Aidan went to go see Carrie in New York City. I don't know. I don't know when did it I'm not really sure when this all started.
Yeah. Well, this brings up a lot of questions I have about Aiden and Aiden's life. Like, do you have a job? Are you
Yeah. What does
do
he
you
do?
work? What are you doing? Did you have this such a successful business that your ex-wife still works but you don't? So he seems to have nothing but time
Yeah.
to do this. And then the other thing too was it is odd. It's odd that okay, now yes, okay, Wyatt's not living with you and the other kids are out and about. And so his first instinct is I can't be alone on this farm, so I've got to go to New
Mhm.
York, and
He
that's
has a
concerning.
life there. He says he has a life in New York.
Yeah,
And it's like, well, so then
not
why did you
really.
just up and leave? At the first sign of, something was wrong, you just left and said, "Give me 5 years."
Mhm. Well,
He's all
I
over
have a
the
little bit
place.
of a theory about this, which is I think that Aiden the character, I think Aiden really prides himself on being this good guy. And um and so it's very hard for him to wrap his brain around I'm a good guy. Why are these sort of bad things happening? Why I'm a good person. Why is my son rejecting me? Which
Mhm.
he isn't, but because he says these things like, what the fuck did I do? It's like very childlike, like
Yeah.
mad. It's like you didn't do I don't know. You didn't do anything. He's a kid. He's having struggles. He wants to live with his mom. Let him go live, I mean, there's a little bit of he's pissed that he's not responding to his text messages. It's like, are you like a needy
Yeah.
girlfriend or something? This kid, it's like give him some goddamn space. And I'm sorry, but you can. And my guess is you still see him. You can go over and see him, and that's the other part of it too, which is this whole thing about 5 years. Well, he wants to go live with Kathy. So what? You're not going to see him at all during that whole month? Now that you're living with Kathy, I see you never. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the other thing about the 5 years, because it was like, well, yeah, you have to be in Virginia to be with Wyatt, but don't you share custody? There are days that you will
Right.
not have this kid.
Right.
That's so weird.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be there every day. Kathy can handle it, you know. Because what? Kathy and Aiden are going to be together every day? I don't think so. What about Bob? What does Bob feel about this?
Yes,
Does he know
about
that,
Bob.
that his girlfriend cheated on him?
We don't know. Justice for Bob.
I know. Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
we went a little farther there, but it's just all of that. It's just so it's and again, I did not listen to the
The
writers room
writer's
podcast,
room.
but this makes me go back to, I think we've got someone who really doesn't, who's maybe never been a parent. I mean, I know the two women are parents, I
Yeah, they
believe,
are.
but there's I mean, like, as parents, really? This is the part that I don't get. Like, this is the most weirdest situation, like this family dynamic, and the way in which they're describing it is so weird.
Yeah.
It
You know, I
makes no
think a
sense.
lot of times on this show, when I listen to them talk, they have like a big picture about
Hmm.
where they want these characters to go and where they want the storylines to go. And sometimes they're not the best at getting us there in
Yeah.
a that the things they have to come up with and the scenarios they come up with to get from point A to point B, that's sometimes where we get lost.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it's going to come out like what happened with but this episode we're left just thinking, "Huh? Like
Hmm.
this doesn't make sense." And I don't know.
Well, we
Because
don't even see.
they've been doing this a long time. They've been writing this show. The same
Yeah.
writers have been doing this for so long. So I don't know.
Well, it's what Amy was saying, that it's like they know this is where they want to go, and they don't stop and think, well, how would this character get there? Versus like,
Mhm.
what is the natural progression of this character? Because yeah, you set it up in the beginning, which is that Big dies, so, and we're going to change the format, and this is where you are right now in your life, and okay, so you go from there. What would happen?
Mhm.
And I do think that she would look up Aiden. I think they would try to maybe see if they could get back together, and maybe it would work like this. But it's these little pieces of, she's still so, Carrie's so close with her friends still. Like, we should see at least one walk and talk with her and Miranda where Carrie's maybe not saying anything to Miranda about the Kathy stuff. Maybe she, something happens where it comes out and she had an opening, but she doesn't. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, I'm not quite, or she just tells one person but doesn't want to tell Charlotte, or whatever it is. It's like it just feels a little bit um okay. So now she talks to these women about everything. So now this is, you're holding this back.
Well, because I think she doesn't know what she wants to do. Because remember, whenever she would tell them about Big or like things being bad with him, or
Mhm.
when she cheated on Aiden way back when. Once you tell someone that, then they're always going to it's going to
Yeah.
color how they look at everything. And maybe she doesn't want anyone to have any judgments. She wants to figure this out
So why can't we have a
herself.
scene? That's a great scene. Why can't she have the scene with someone that maybe is random, doesn't know?
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe
that's
she
the
could
scene
have
that we
told
need.
Giuseppe's mom. I don't know.
Yeah, or that would, I mean, that could have worked. Giuseppe's
Yeah.
mom was it's a good character to do that with. Or she goes, I don't know, she goes to therapy, or she goes, runs into some old friend that doesn't know anybody,
Mhm.
and this is all that comes out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a bit of this problem. But Aiden's sad. I mean, just like, what did I
Yeah.
do? He loves her more. All
He's being a whiny little
yeah.
brat. I mean, come on, Aiden. You know what's going on. Like, you
You've
know
raised two
why.
other kids. This isn't the only kid. You went through this with two other boys. Like,
Well, yeah, and
you should
also
know enough about parenting to know that you cannot, nothing's set in stone.
he also knows what um unlike us, he knows what Wyatt's issues are.
Yeah.
He's been dealing with it. We still don't really know. Um but yeah, Aiden is really wearing thin
Yeah.
on on
I
me.
don't think I don't think Aiden's in this series. If there's I assume they're gonna pick it up again. I don't think he's in it next year. I don't think there's a you know what I mean? There's no way.
Yeah, well, I've had enough of him.
Yes. Okay. Well, so there's all that stuff in the beginning, and then what happens? What's the
Well,
next thing
okay,
in the
so
timeline?
Harry has had his surgery.
And
His balls are swollen.
yes. And so sorry. This was my other question. Have they told? I assume you've told the kids.
Well, they must have. I mean, if he's there in bed, he's been in bed for a week with,
Yeah. But that's
recovering.
and again, that's a whole thing of like, I don't want anyone to know. I mean, okay, fine. They didn't show us
Well,
the
yeah,
scene
I
with the
think they
kids.
resolved that last week. We just didn't see them actually telling the kids.
Hmm.
Um, so anyway, LTW comes over with the weirdest outfit, maybe one of the weirdest outfits I've ever seen on
Hmm.
this show. She looked like a clown. It was like
Mm.
a orange and blue striped, boxy jacket, and I don't know,
Hmm.
I think it was pants. And the stripes on the pants went the opposite way. And then she had this big, huge elephant pin,
Yeah.
like a brooch type pin. Very weird.
Well, she's
But
been wearing a
sh
lot of these kinds of outfits because the other outfit she
yeah.
had was the red sort of jumpsuit with the belt, which is a little more flattering, but it's still that very big,
Mhm.
boxy look.
She can pull it off. I mean, she still looks, she can wear these things, but why? Why are they putting her in these things? I don't understand it.
I don't know.
Um, so she brings Harry some macadamia nuts
Yes, of
from
course.
Hawaii. Ha ha ha. What a funny. I mean, that's just like, okay.
Mhm.
Um, and so then Lisa and Charlotte walk together to work, wherever
Yes,
they
yes.
were both walking to work. And Lisa admits that she had a sex dream about Marion
Ooh.
and that she's been flirting with him. And wants to know, well, does Charlotte ever have sex dreams? And she says, yeah, but she knows it's not real because in some of them she has short hair.
I mean, Charlotte really, I feel like, was the MVP of this episode. I mean,
Yeah,
she had
she went
some
through a lot.
she yeah, she went through a lot, but she had some good ones because she's the one that's because LTW is feeling so anxious and worried and oh, I'm a terrible person. And Charlotte's like, well, you guys are doing something creative together. Shouldn't you have creative energy? She's being a good friend. She's basically
Mhm.
like, shut this out, oh, kind of like just don't worry so much about it. Like have fun and telling her I'm flirting with everybody else. Um, but and then they create this new word, flirking.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I can't I mean, she's really feeling a lot of guilt. I it seems very
Yeah.
strong, but
Well, also I keep thinking, is Marion really does is it reciprocal? Cuz he says he's married.
yeah, and we've heard him say a few things like the maybe things aren't going well.
Oh, I missed that.
He made some offhand comment at one point.
Hmm. So we don't even know if he's flirting back, or is he just
Mhm.
being nice, or that's just his personality. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's very, very flummoxed by this
Yes.
whole thing. She really can't even concentrate anymore.
No.
So Charlotte gets to work at the gallery, and they're talking about this performance art piece, and um putting this fake well, it's a real condom with
Mhm.
fake jizz in it. They're placing it carefully on the bed. Like,
Mhm.
where are you getting these measurements? And I don't know. She said it was based on something from the
I guess it's the
80s.
artist, like the artist said these are the measurements. This is exactly how it should be.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's It's interesting. It was an
Yeah.
interesting
Like I said,
concept.
I think it's very interesting. It's an interesting
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
And this is where I felt like they finally got what it's like to be a 50-year-old woman. Charlotte has vertigo. And I thought of all the symptoms. I'm like, yes, that's a great symptom because you've had vertigo. I had to call you
Mhm.
because I didn't know what the hell was going on. Why do I have vertigo?
Yeah.
And it's very true. Like you don't know what's happening to you. It seems like something that's made up, and then
Mhm.
suddenly you have it, and it is one of those things where it just kind of comes on, it is, and it does sound fake and made up, but
Mhm.
it's really happening, and it's very
Yes,
common.
it's a middle-aged lady
It's a
phenomenon.
menopause symptom.
It's yeah, it's must be linked to that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's so weird watching Charlotte work alongside
These young girls.
these young girls because she's still so dressed up, Park Avenue. Um, and they just I don't first of all, they all look like slobs. They dress really weird and uh it's just strange. It's a
But I think
strange,
that is the style. Like
I
that's the
guess.
that is to me, but it rings true for someone who works in galleries today. In the 90s, Charlotte is dressing how a gallerist probably dressed in the 90s.
Mhm.
These kids, I mean, they're younger. I mean, they're dressing very much like how modern young people dress,
Yeah.
I think.
It's just weird to see her amongst these people.
Yes. Yes. All right.
So, um oh, well, okay, so after Aiden comes back and starts, before he starts whining about Wyatt, he and Carrie have sex and they fall asleep for like 5 hours or
Yeah.
something. And that's when Carrie wakes up because she's supposed to meet Duncan so he can give her notes on
Yes.
the next chapter.
I love this life where these
I
two
know.
middle-aged people, one who has a bunch of kids, can just have sex, fall asleep for 5 hours in the middle of the goddamn work week. It's like, god damn it.
Yeah, don't you have some furniture to design or, like some
Anything. I mean, Carrie doesn't have to work if she doesn't want
no.
to, but I
She's
mean,
got
it's just like nothing's going on with you two. Like no other things.
well,
Okay.
these people live quite the life.
I know. I know. It's just frustrating.
So yeah, so Carrie's like, she doesn't want to blow him off. She doesn't want to
Mhm.
blow Duncan off. She wants to go but then Aiden starts whining so
Yeah.
much and he's so upset about this Wyatt thing and so then she feels badly and she's like, I'll just call it off with him. Let's go out to eat and I kind of didn't like that.
No. But I think this is again one of the other pieces that are showing us, right? Which is Aiden's not being respectful of her work because what she's
Mhm.
really saying is, I need to work. Like,
Mhm.
this is a work commitment. And he's like, and yeah, it's not
Mhm.
cool. And he's obviously, we can see this already. He's obviously jealous. He hasn't even seen this
Mhm.
guy yet, but he's obviously, oh no, he saw him at the party. He's
Yeah.
obviously, he sees he's good looking. He's already jealous and upset about everything. Um, so, and again, that's the other part of it too is Aiden the kind of like, I don't know, is Aiden the kind of person that would, prevent her from doing her work? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, remember when like when he didn't really fully move in, but when he tried to move in with her and he bought the apartment next door and
Mhm.
knocked down the walls and was going to do all that stuff. I mean, that was an issue then where she was like, I'm trying to work, I'm trying to write. This
Mhm.
is where she writes in her apartment and this is her work. And she had to go like to a hotel, like to get away from him,
Well,
to
that's
get
you're
away from the
mixing up 2
noise.
times. You're mixing up the first time they were together and the second time they were together. She went to that hotel because that's how they had to get her away from Aiden in order for her to start the affair with Big. That was the first time
Oh.
because he was redoing her floors.
Oh,
The
okay.
second time was when they moved, they were engaged and they were gonna buy this. He bought the apartment and
Mhm.
all that other kind of
But I
stuff.
thought she had to leave because he was making so much noise and, everything was in disarray and
The first time, and then the second time, it was their breakup essentially, and it was when she had put the ring. I mean, she had done that a few episodes before, but she had put the ring on a necklace and
uh-huh.
like things, and she wouldn't set a date. So, and he was pressuring her, and like the walls coming down were a symbol of the pressure that she felt.
Mm. Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, he just comes into town and it's like, well,
Well, yeah, drop everything and pay
drop
attention to
everything for
me.
me. Yeah, exactly. So she cancels with Duncan. Then I think the next scene is Seema and Adam are having sex.
I know. And I just want to say, I found that I did not enjoy the sex scene. And I've watched it twice now. And I thought maybe,
Oh,
okay,
you hated it so much
I
you
had to watch it
watched it
twice
twice.
because I always watch the episode once, no notes, and then I have to go
Mhm.
back again. And I was like, God, I found that really weird and disturbing. And this is what it is. Again, it's not. I have nothing against this actress. I really think she's very talented. She's just like the thing about the sex before was they always kind of made it comical, and Kim Cattrall was so like if that was Kim Cattrall, that would have been so different. It would have been fun and funny and interesting and all of these things. I mean, I don't know. It's just the whole thing was weird. It was like, yeah, I think it was very realistic, and it was like, oh God, ugh.
Well,
No
what
one
was
wants to
I
see
don't
that.
understand what was so repulsive about it.
I don't all of it, just like the weird faces he was making and the go, go, go. And
Well,
all of it.
that's what sex is. It's
I know. It's
messy. It's
realistic.
not
And that was the thing
yeah.
about Sex in the City that I liked is they really kind of laughed at a lot of these things. That's all. I don't
Well,
know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I like Seema, and I don't know if I like Adam.
okay. This is the most relaxed we've ever seen
Oh
Seema.
yes. Yes.
She finally let her hair down,
Yeah.
and I mean, she's always so uptight. And her energy is just, weird.
Negative.
Yeah, very negative energy. And I thought that Adam looked a lot hotter in this episode.
Oh, then he did
They put
singing
some
Betty Davis
nice,
eyes.
yeah, they put some nice clothes on him.
Uh-huh.
He looked very nice when they went out to dinner and then went to the gallery. Um, I don't know. I'm warming up to him, and
Okay.
he's very. I think he's good for her because
Yeah.
he
No, I agree.
pushes her and the whole thing about the deodorant and um all of that, because she's always, she's one of these women who, wants these men to be like a certain way for her,
Mhm.
but then they treat her like shit. And so
Yeah.
and so here's this guy who he's not going to treat you like shit, but he's a little different than
Mhm.
what you're used to. And so you got to get over it. It's like as long as he doesn't stink, who cares if he uses deodorant? He uses the natural crystal,
Yes. Yes.
which
Now,
we all know does not work.
okay, it doesn't. So I do want to say one thing about this, which is my husband Steve, he for a period of time, he was going to the gym at work, but he wouldn't ever like shower after. So I'm like, "So what are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm just kind of, toweling myself off and then putting his clothes back off and going to work." But every time he would come home, he never smelled. I mean, I cannot explain it to you for whatever reason he does not he sweats, but he never he this it's very it takes a long time for the smell to show up. Me, I
Uh-huh.
have to have deodorant like in a purse because I need it done all the time because
Like the lady at the table where she
yes,
whips it out of her
I wouldn't have done
purse.
it at the table like that, but I will tell you that I had a little smaller one that I would take with me places because also sometimes you forget to put it on and then you're like, "Oh crap." And then,
Mhm.
you know. So
Yeah, everybody's different.
everybody's different.
Everybody's
So
different. Yeah.
I do believe that if Adam is like Steve and does not smell, the rock crystal probably does exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah. It works for some people. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people who've said it does. I never thought it did anything, but
No, I don't like it. Max was doing the whole natural thing for a while, and even Max is like me; he smells. So
but
he
you
also
need the
had to
real
adopt.
stuff.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh God, okay, I'll do this." Yeah. Anywho,
Anyway, I
All
also
right,
thought it was
I'll lay off on Seema and all of this. I
yeah,
just
let's give them a chance. But the I noticed, and this is also a different so in the sex scenes, both Carrie and Seema are wearing their bras.
Mhm.
And but Miranda has to be full frontal
Oh, yeah.
nudity. And then, Kim Cattrall, her tits were out all the time.
Well, and that was a big argument. That was people I remember people talking about this and writing about this way back when, which is the show is called Sex and the City. Your star does not feel comfortable with nudity in any way, shape, or form, which I respect.
Mhm.
But at the same time, could maybe you should have hired it really did mean that all of the sex really was on Kim Cattrall.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I think that obviously Kim Cattrall doesn't have an issue with it, neither does Cynthia Nixon. Kristen Davis has been we've seen her topless at some point, like all of those things. But it is, I mean, when you really think about it, the show is called Sex and the City, and your lead is basically saying, yeah, you guys have to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't even watch the show, so she
Yes.
probably doesn't even notice
She
that
doesn't know that she's doing all the sex stuff. She has no idea what Kim Cattrall has been doing. You
Yeah,
know what?
she
Maybe
has
they
no
could have
idea.
been friends if she actually watched the show and saw how much Kim was saving the show. And then she would have some appreciation for her. But again, I'm going to say it again. This like god damn that Kim Cattrall. She was
Yeah,
so good. So good. So,
yeah, very funny.
yeah.
Um, okay, so then we have more sex or with LTW.
Oh
She
yeah.
wakes up in the morning and she's hot and heavy. She probably just had her sex dream.
About
So
Mary.
she wants about Marion. So she's gonna just climb onto Herbert because he's just there. It's the worst.
Oh, how sad.
Poor Herbert.
Yes.
So, but he kills the mood when he gets up to go to the bathroom, and then this is what really killed the mood. He starts making a grocery list for her.
Yes, yes.
I mean, he could if he would have ran in the bathroom, peed really quick, and came right back. But no, he starts telling her that, oh, we need toilet paper and
Yeah.
seltzer water, and then she's just like, okay, I'm over it.
Well, I felt like this was a very realistic of someone who's been married a long time, a very realistic scene of like that the living together, being together, bodily functions, and
Mhm.
I mean all of those things of like life and have yeah, I mean I'm sure he was standing there going, "Oh yeah, we need toilet paper," and you just say it. You don't mean
Mhm.
to. I mean, I don't blame Herbert for this. Poor Herbert's just he's an innocent bystander. But I'm really sick of him talking about like I'm hot, right? I'm hot. I'm hot. He really is a little insecure about this.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean, and I think that's a good example of like also why people I think what they're also showing you is why people have affairs. People have affairs not so much because they don't love their partners or don't love or don't feel satisfied by them, but an affair, being is escapism.
Mhm.
And we just saw reality.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's nothing sexy about
I mean, it could have been worse. It really
yeah,
could have been worse.
yeah.
So,
But yeah, that killed the mood.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and then we go uh we see LTW and Marion eating lunch together, and
Mhm.
and they, of course, they get this real sexual. He gets this really ripe papaya that has
Yeah.
like the seeds and everything, and he's like slurping it into his mouth. And she's just sitting there eating her salad looking at him.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I have to say, like that whole salad scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
She was really great in that scene.
Yeah, that was really good acting. Um, yeah, and then he wanted her to go to this movie with him, and she's like, "Oh no, I have this thing, the gallery, Charlotte's Gallery." And he says someone from the Obamas production company is going to be there,
Mhm.
and so then she's like, "Oh, okay, well this is a work thing. I can do
Yes.
this. I should do this."
Mhm.
She keeps calling it a work thing.
Yes.
Um, so I guess we can just, I don't know if you want to play this one out, or we could go to the art show and then come back to,
Let's play this out.
yeah. So when they get to the theater, they're watching the movie and their legs touch.
Yes.
And
Well,
she
the other
freaks
thing was
out.
it was really comical because you could hear the narration going, and he played his horn and I played my piano and together
Mhm.
we made magic. I mean, they're really, I mean, they're working hard at this to show you. But I also think that it's a good representation also of her heightened senses of everything, right?
Mhm.
Because now she interprets everything he says as being, oh my God, because I guess it sounds like she feels like, I flirted and I've opened a door to something.
Right.
And what if he steps through? What am I going to do? And
Mhm.
so she's become hyper fixated on it, which is really,
Yeah.
the narration and all that. But yeah, his legs touch and it's like, he could have been man spreading.
He was manspreading. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it looked like to me. But
But she just freaks out and runs off.
yeah, she
Yeah.
had to get out of there. I mean, I don't, what did she think was gonna happen? Like
Yeah. At the movie theater.
at the packed theater where everyone's watching this documentary about jazz musicians or whatever it is.
Yes. But then we see her, she's at the store getting the seltzer, which also I think is very, I mean, again, they need a plot point. I don't want to be nitpicky, but a family with that much money, you really think she's running out to getting seltzer? Like, I just feel like she would have some sort of delivery
Yeah,
service or
do
something.
Instacart or
Yeah.
something.
I would just like,
Delivery.
God, this is really, you don't have a cleaning person or someone who comes and does your laundry or, I mean, sorry, does your shopping? Okay. But anyway, he calls her and she, of course, is like, oh no, can't talk to you. And he's like, listen, I just want you to talk. I got the Obama person here. God damn it,
Mhm.
lady. Just talk to her. I'm trying to help you.
It's like, I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm just trying to like get you hooked up with Michelle Obama, for God's sakes.
Dear God. So, yeah, that's the LTW. This will be very interesting to see where this goes because, one thing is I wish they would make, because LTW in the beginning, that first scene with Charlotte when they're walking down the street, she says, I have this very sexy husband and I have this great sex life with this very sexy husband. But we have seen him be a dick to her more
Mhm.
than once. So, does it all just have to be about sex? The other part of this too could be like, well, Marion listens to me.
Right.
Marion respects me.
Right.
Marion doesn't put shit on me. Marion, and
Yeah.
those are the other reasons why people have affairs is that this other person is listening to them. This other person
Yeah.
isn't being a dick.
You could be the hottest person in the world and someone can cheat on you
Yes.
because yeah, you're not giving them what they want, the attention that they want, and the
So I wish they
validation or
had brought
whatever.
that element into the storyline. Maybe they will.
Mhm.
But it looks like we're kind of up to maybe a cliffhanger with the two of them. It might be interesting to see what would happen if maybe she left Herbert.
Well, I don't think she would leave him, but she is so hot for this guy. Like
Yeah.
she might do something with him.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the feeling's really mutual. I mean, I'm sure he thinks that, yeah, I mean, she's
I mean, she's
obviously a beautiful
beautiful.
woman and whatever, but it's like that's his boss.
Yeah.
And he he just started working there like a couple weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Hasn't been that long. And it's his boss. And as we we know, we're gonna have to talk about this Coldplay concert
Oh God.
CEO thing on our bonus episode, but
This has
not a good
been
HR decision to
hold on. This Coldplay thing, I swear to God, everyone's talking about like Lou, who helps me produce my other podcast, Jen Mess with Tess. Go check it out. That was the first thing he said to me because he knows I'm into pop culture. He's like, "Oh my God, did you see that thing with Coldplay?" And blah, 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 blah. But apparently, because he lives in Florida and he lives in the like he knows a lot of CEOs, a lot of like money people. He worked in finance for a long time, like that East Coast wealth.
Mhm.
That this guy that he represents that. And it's hilarious. And this is all they're talking about in those
Oh, it's all
circles.
over the news. People are obsessed with it.
Oh, no. Did you see the thing that Gavin Newsom put on his TikTok where he
Yes.
replaced?
Yes, I did see that. Oh, our zaddy Gavin.
Yes.
He just
Making some moves, making comments anytime he can. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
that Coldplay thing.
we're gonna have to address that.
So yeah, so maybe there is maybe she makes a move and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And she's really embarrassed and she has to kind of I mean, I don't know. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure. But I
We
love
shall see.
LTW. We need more LTW. More,
Yeah.
more, more. Let her do more comedic things. Let her be Kim Cattrall, for Christ's sakes. But that's
Yeah.
not
Let
happening.
her take your top off.
Yeah.
Pay her some more money and tell her to take her top
All
off.
right. But I will say we're all over the place here, but we've skipped over Miranda completely.
Oh, well, because yeah, I don't even have her in my notes yet.
Oh, all right.
Okay, you want to
We've
talk
got to
about
stop doing this differently each time, and we've got
I
to get
know
on the same page because each time
but
I keep
it's
thinking we're
too
doing my character.
hard. It's too because when you get all these characters interacting with each other, it's very
Hmm.
hard to go character by character, I think, because there's so much overlap.
Yes, yes, but I think there's a different way
Okay,
of
it's
doing it.
my fault. I forgot to write down Miranda's
Okay, no,
thinking
it's
about
fine.
drinking.
So we're gonna write out. We're done with LTW. Let's say what we want to say. Sema and Adam, they're working out the deodorant issues. They're done. We'll see what happens. And so, let's go. Do you want to go to let's go to Miranda? We need to go to
Yeah.
Miranda because that will explain what happens at the gallery. So this I thought was I thought this was a very interesting storyline. I
Mhm.
think this was something that in the back of my mind, I kept thinking like, is she really? I wouldn't say she was
Yeah.
an alcoholic. If Miranda was my client and I knew all this history about her and her drinking and all of that, right? All of that, and she came to me and said, "I think I overcorrected," I would say, "Okay, why don't you see what happens?" You
Well, and
know?
here's the thing, everyone just labeled her as an alcoholic. I mean, that's a
Hmm.
very loaded term.
Yes.
And you know what? A lot of people use alcohol at certain points in their life and maybe
Yes.
misuse it and to cope and get through things. But then they get through it and then they like course correct.
Yes.
Or and some people just decide that alcohol is just not for them. It's not
Hmm.
interfering with their lives, but it's making them feel badly, or and they might say something stupid and think, this is such a nuanced, complicated
Yeah.
thing that I didn't like the way that they just was it last season or the first season?
It was the first season,
Yeah, the
really.
first season they just because Miranda had a glass of wine before noon, she's an alcoholic. I mean,
Yeah. And I think she
and
was drinking too much. I mean, I think she was, and she's admitting that
mhm.
it was too much at the time, that she wasn't happy, that she was wondering about all the, all that made sense. A big thing with and in the second season we see her in LA going to an AA meeting, and again they could have made that sort of this thing of her being like, I don't want to drink right now, I shouldn't drink right now, but am I in, but AA doesn't feel right for me, which is a
Mhm.
very normal thing that people go through. And yeah, I just think that I agree. I think she course corrected. I do wonder if she could drink. And that's the other thing too, is she needs to be able to, her life isn't going to go into the tubes if she has a drink.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I can understand if you've got someone who's a hardcore alcoholic who they have tried to control their drinking in the past and they can't.
Well,
That's
that's
a
the thing.
big big sign.
She was able to stop.
Yeah.
If she
And
were
so
truly an alcoholic, and I don't even really like that word, but if she was truly an addict,
she
she
wouldn't have
wouldn't be
stopped
able
so
to
easily.
just she'd relapse, she'd slip, it's a process.
And she would be trying to control it. That's one of the
Mhm.
main things. I forget the acronym now, but control is one of them, which is, it's a sign of people getting to the point of identifying themselves as alcoholics. And one of the big ones is you realize it's out of control, so you start to control it. So you start saying, I'm not going to drink during the week, I'm going to weekends.
Mhm.
And I've heard every last story of
Try to
this. And
moderate.
you
Yeah.
try to moderate, I'm going to have 2 drinks, not 3. I'm trying to do this. And I've seen this time and again with people. And sure enough, they cannot stop at 2 drinks, but some people can.
Mhm.
So this whole thing I thought was so bizarre, but the other one too is what is I mean, Joy seems to
Joy
be
seems clueless.
yeah, I mean, she never asked, "Oh, you don't drink? Can I ask you why?"
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Well, and
interesting.
she forgot. She forgot that
Yeah.
she didn't drink. That's a big one. Because obviously Joy is a every night drinker,
Yes.
a regular drinker, and so you would think she would notice and, yeah, say, "Oh, like, you never drink? You don't drink at all? Why not?" Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, why was there never a conversation about it?
And
I think
her
she
fear
forgets.
is that she's going to be a buzzkill, and Joy is going to, it's because Joy keeps dropping these hints like, "Oh, I've never left a bottle of gin at a girlfriend's apartment." Like she keeps setting Miranda up of like, I don't do this except with you. I never do this
Mhm.
except with you. I never do this except with you."
Mhm.
And so I think I understand it puts pressure on Miranda to feel like, "Oh, this must be I need to, this must be special or whatever it is." But you you don't think that that's a problem, that she can't remember that you don't drink and that she
Yeah.
hands you a glass of champagne, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, but it doesn't bode well for Joy. It doesn't make
No.
it seem like she's really paying attention to Miranda. It's kind of all about Joy. She's
Yeah.
kind of self-centered.
Yes, yes. So, she
Yeah.
brings over this
So
very rare gin that apparently people have already gone on the internet and been like, "You can get this in Delancey Street in New York, you know."
yeah, she's saying you can only get it in Canada.
But people are like, "No, you can get it anywhere." But yeah, and she drops that off. And then at the gallery, Joy gives Miranda, she says, "Oh, I have to go to the bathroom here. Take my champagne glass," and gives it to Miranda. And Miranda's staring at it. And she's thinking about starting to take a sip. And Charlotte freaks out, starts running towards her with her vertigo, and lands smack on the bed next to the
Right
pass
on
out
the
woman
condom.
on the condom on the bed. Not good.
Yeah, and then the woman who was laying in the bed, the naked woman, she kinda goes like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like, and before that, she was laying there like a corpse, like, not even moving.
Yeah.
That was funny, like, that's classic Sex and the City. I mean,
Yeah.
those things are funny, not their Catskills jokes, but, like,
Yeah.
those situations, the physical comedy, which, Kristen Davis did a lot of that in this,
Mhm.
and she actually did a lot of it. Remember that night, I think it was last season, where she went out with the gallery girls, and they were out drinking, and
Yeah, that was earlier this season.
oh, okay.
Remember
And
Harry pees his pants?
no, last season when everyone was calling her, her kids were calling her, and
Oh.
Harry was calling her, and she had gone out with them. She just started working at the gallery.
Oh, okay.
And because they were always going out after
Oh,
work,
that's right, that's right. Yeah.
and
Okay.
they kept calling her, like, "When you coming home?" And she's like, "I'm out with my friends." And she threw her phone in a blender.
Mhm.
And then she had to come home, and she was totally drunk, and then the next day totally hungover, and she did all this really good physical comedy. So, I
Yeah.
mean, she's capable of
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and
Yeah. And
she'll
of
have to
all
do
the
more.
people to be a Pollyanna and wanna stop Miranda from drinking,
Right.
it would be her.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else would've. So, yes. So we'll see what happens with Miranda and Joy. I mean, Joy is not a joyful person at all. Joy
No,
is not fun.
I don't like her. Well, yeah, and then Miranda is home alone with the gin,
Yes.
and I don't know if I don't even know if she was even thinking about the gin. I think she went to the cabinet to get a snack, to get a cookie or something, and then she
Yeah, and then
sees
she
the
sees it.
gin, and she keeps looking at it, like, shuts the cabinet, looks at it again, tries eating a cookie, and then she pours some in a glass, but then pours it down the drain, puts it back, and then goes back to try to finish writing her brief or whatever she's doing, and then she just takes it and she throws it down the incinerator,
Mhm.
just like when she had to throw the, cake in the
Yes.
garbage can and put dish soap on top of it.
Yes.
She's kind of like,
Yes.
all or nothing with this kind of stuff, but I mean, I'm glad that, that shows that I don't know what it shows, but, I thought it was interesting, the whole thing about bringing it up again.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it would be an interesting discussion to talk about, like, yeah, maybe I'm not an alcoholic, but I don't think I do. I'm a black and white thinker. I'm a black and white person, and I don't do very well with one foot in and one foot out.
Mhm.
People do this all the time with sugar, with other things that are very addictive. And they
Mhm.
basically would say, yeah, I can do it in moderation, but more, but I don't like it. I want to go past that. So it's just easier for me not to do it at all. So
Mhm.
that might be an interesting discussion of, like, what does that mean? Um because yeah, I mean, alcohol and the use of alcohol and other substances and other things, work, sex, shopping, gambling, weed, all these other things that people use, are interesting explorations of, you know, because the whole thing was about happiness, these various
Mhm.
stages of happiness. What is happiness at this point in your life?
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we
Well,
we
and also the was this at the gallery where Aiden is sort of trying to get information from the other
yeah, from
men
Adam,
about yeah,
Adam and
about
Seema.
yeah, about Duncan and yeah, when they're getting ready, he calls him Dunkin' Donuts and
Yeah.
he's clearly like what is going on here? Um and then there's this so then of course well, Gia is still here.
Oh
Gia
God,
is
yeah.
still in town. I don't know when she's going back to Rome. But she's telling Mark Sabian, the gallery owner, that she wants to buy something for Giuseppe, one of the queer masters, like herring or Basquiat. And he's like, "Mom, I have a small apartment. I don't have room for this." And um, she wants to buy him a loft. I don't know. She just wants to get him away from Anthony.
Yeah, she has, apparently they have a lot of money that she can
Yeah.
buy him a loft and a Hockney and
Yeah.
these aren't cheap paintings. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, and that kind of, I think this whole thing was leading into what we'll see next time, which is Giuseppe's like, you need to cook for my mother, just the two of you, get to know each other. Let's try to do this. But I have to say that Giuseppe keeps kind of saying, well, oh, you just have to get to know her. It's like, no, Giuseppe, you're pretty perceptive. She's being really horrible.
Mhm.
Like, she has not given him a chance
She's
at
being
all.
mean. She's just
Like,
downright
downright
mean.
cruel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens there. But yeah, the ending is really back to, of course, Carrie. Um, I think that he I think that Aiden's also very nervous about Duncan because Carrie is protesting a little too much about, like, I don't know anything about him. We just talk about
Mhm.
writing. I don't know anything. Versus her being like, well, he's from London and he comes here to write and blah 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 blah
Mhm.
blah. Like, he knows she's holding something back. She's
Well,
holding something back from him.
she told him that she had dinner with him
Mhm.
and that he made that mutton stew and
Yeah.
so he knows, yeah, she had dinner with him and she didn't learn anything about him.
Yeah. It's yeah, and I think
Yeah.
he feels it and he knows
Yeah.
it. So, anywho, and then it ends up with the two of them, but she writes her little, the woman thought she was happy again because this guy came back from Virginia, and let's see what happens, and they're in bed together. So,
Yeah. Was it I tried to write down, it was like happiness showed up on her doorstep, remarkably and quite unexpected, like a bird that appears in the garden.
so flowery. This magnificent book. This book.
Oh
Oh,
god, this book sounds
brilliant.
horrible.
Beautiful. Almost as good as the Margaret Thatcher book.
Yeah, which one can put you to sleep faster?
God.
Terrible.
Yes. Well,
Well,
anyway, but this was a good episode.
it was a good episode. How many so this is episode 8. God,
Yeah.
I hope they do 12. I don't
I
want
don't
there to
think
just be
so.
2 more episodes.
Yeah, no, this is it. I think they only do 10. So, two more, we'll see what happens. But they're definitely, you're seeing how they're really setting things up for, right, what the ending is. They're starting to put some pieces together.
So, meaning that
This stuff with what we're talking about with, like, Aiden and the
Aiden.
fact that she's this idea of he's coming and staying with her and everything that we've been talking about, I think
Mhm.
setting things up for LTW. Charlotte, I don't know so much, but Seema with this guy, what's going to
Mhm.
happen? Next week, I think we see the Patel group. We go back to that exciting thing where we see Seema's finally got an office or something like that. I think we
Oh.
see that. So
Well, thank goodness.
yeah,
Uh,
you know what it is?
well,
This is what it is. It's just that I don't think they don't show us enough of Seema's sweet, carefree side, if there is one, ever.
mhm.
And I think that's why her character, I just find her just exhausting. She would be an exhausting friend. She's always making these jokes, double entendres. It's always about her finding a man. No one's good
Mhm.
enough. Everything sucks. And, my partner ripped my business out from underneath me. And, it feels a little bit like they needed to make her more likable.
Come alive. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she was a real negative Nancy. And you remember when she got jealous of she was supposed to go to the Hamptons with
Yeah, of
Carrie, but
Carrie and
then
Aiden getting back
yeah, she
together.
got jealous. She didn't even wanna be around them because she didn't have a boyfriend or whatever. So, yeah, they needed to bring in someone to just really shake her up and
Yeah.
rock her world and have her, be likable.
Yeah. But even then it's like she's laughing after sex, they're having fun, they're having dinner, they're talking about deodorant, and then, you're at the gallery and it's like, "Aiden, do you wear deodorant?" Like, really? I mean, we're still on this? Like, why don't you then pick something else that he does that's natural, that you think is weird, or whatever it is, whatever you're trying to show us, like someone who's different than who you've been looking for kind of thing. But, it's just, God, she's exhausting.
She is, and you know what? She should be happy. That guy is about 20 years younger than her.
Yeah. He's cute.
He's got a nice ass, looking real
Yeah.
hot. He is doing nudity.
And listen, he picked up dinner. I mean,
Yes,
that's the other thing too.
he cleaned up well.
I thought money was going to be an issue with the two of them, right?
Mhm,
I thought that she was going to assume he had no money and that he was going to come back and be like, "I have two business. This is my second business I've started. I'm very successful."
mhm.
So, but no, we go right to and his little glasses and signing the check and all of those kinds of things. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think he's cute. So, she does pass him along to someone else
yeah.
who does. Justice
All
for
right.
Adam.
Well, that's it for this week.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you so
talked for
much
an
for
hour
tuning.
about a 30-minute show.
Yes, that we have so many criticisms of. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy our podcast, please give us, and if you haven't already, please give us a 5-star rating and review. Those reviews really do help us. It helps people find the show. Please, what else? Please subscribe to the show. We have a Patreon. If you want to hear about our thoughts about the Coldplay thing, go over to our Patreon. We have 2 tiers. There's a weekly bonus, and then we do some extras for our higher tier. Yeah, follow us on social media. Follow us on YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. If you're
Yeah,
watching
subscribe
us,
to our
hello.
YouTube channel,
Yeah, and follow us on
please.
socials, all that good stuff. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.